Okay, this is Nick back on the Get Me Off-Grid video blog, and here I am off-grid experiencing the wonders of off-grid illumination. I have one wind-up torch to my left, which is using currently the headset function. This little thing here fits on your head with elastic, so that you can, walk around and see things, or you can use it to read with, because you can turn the brightness down and you can read with it. So that's actually very, very good. And I've got my other bit of off-grid lighting technology right here, which is the olive oil lamp in a mussels jar, and it looks quite good. It's got a nice little patterning around the outside, and I think that actually, for a bit of junk, free or cheap junk, that's incredibly beautiful for what it is. So I'm actually quite happy with my current off-grid status. Obviously, I'm still doing this in the summer, so I don't worry too much about getting too cold, because I can just put on more layers and then I'll be okay if it gets a bit chilly at night, and the temperature's quite high at the moment. Obviously, if I was doing this in the dead of the winter, that would be a completely different story. Now, what have I actually demonstrated? The use of the gas stove to provide energy for washing myself. I've used heat retention cooking methods, and I've also used my steamer on bioethanol. So the only thing I haven't done is the wood gas stove, but of course it was teeming down with rain. Of course I could have used my porch area to use the wood gas stove, but I just decided not to, and I just decided to stay in, and I'm also coming down with a bit of a cold, so obviously I want to be careful and to look after myself too. What have I realized? I've realized that everything takes a lot longer. If you're doing things in an off-grid way, you're washing up, these things take longer. I haven't done a wash day yet. My bed sheets need washing. Okay, so I'm going to have to do my bed sheets in the bath with water that I've heated on either the bioethanol or on the gas stove, the camping gas stove. That's going to be fun. And of course there's the clothes I'm wearing right now. This is going to be a challenge. What else have I realized? Well, if you're isolating yourself, you actually need entertainment. I mean, some people think that entertainment is a luxury. I actually think to a certain extent it's a necessity. If you are living alone and the only thing you've got really is, flickering flame. In the old days, I can understand why people basically went a bit mad and started to get superstitious and believed in ghosts, because the only thing you can hear is people moving around outside, people walking up and down the street and talking, or maybe the music from someone else's stereo or a plane going overhead, and it feels really isolated and slightly spooky. So having something useful like this, don't know whether I can get that in the light. There we go. It's a radio I've had for a while. It is, yes, it's an off-grid radio. It's got a small solar panel at the back. It's also got a winding handle. It's made by Freeplay, and it's got the FM, medium wave, long wave, and short wave. So it's quite a good, convenient thing in terms of an entertainment unit. And I've used it to listen to a bit of opera, as well as a program about Yoko Ono on Radio 4. Standard, boring English entertainment, but it's okay. It's stimulating. There's a feeling of something homely when you have it on, so it keeps you sane. Radio keeps you sane, so it's essential. Of course, for any other entertainment I want to have tonight, I've got my mobile phone, my cell phone, or whatever you want to call it, and that's obviously connected to the internet. It's got my Netflix account on it, so I can watch basically movies if I want to, and of course have access to international radio via that, and I can use the USB socket on the inverter to keep the battery inside the phone topped up. Or alternatively, if I am still keeping the computer on because I've been using it for my work, then I can use the USB socket from that. There's ways and means, basically. There really is, ways and means. And I suppose this has taught me that the off-grid life is definitely doable. Okay, having less grid dependence is doable. And I think that's actually quite an important lesson. There's I may have a completely different view of the whole thing in 7 days' time, but so far I feel quite optimistic about being able to keep this up for a longer period of time, possibly even indefinitely. Although it is a bit of a challenge trying to fit that into because everything takes an awful lot longer into like my social life as well as my working life, may prove to be a bit of a challenge, but it's still within the bounds or bounds of possibility and probability to be done. So there you go, you can get off grid, you can probably enjoy it as well. There are a few challenges. It's a new way of life because you're so used to, I don't know, using the microwave, using the electric hobs, or just turning the heating up. If I want to have more heat, I'll have to use my bioethanol. I'll have to set up, let's say 2 or 3 burners and just like get that going. And once they've burned down, then basically just burn maybe 2 or 1 more just to keep the energy in the place, the heat in the place topped up. I only put like about a centimetre's worth of bioethanol in each can at a time, so that I've got more control, and I believe it's actually safer that way. That's my personal impression. I could of course be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. And that's basically what our reports so far. This is Nick on the Get Me Off Grid video blog. If you want to support this and support my effort, there is a link down there in the information section. Okay, and I will look forward to keeping you topped up with information as I carry on progressing towards the future. I mean, now officially, I am off grid. I haven't used the refrigerator. I haven't used my stereo. I haven't used my television. There's lots of things I haven't used. I haven't used the main lights. During the day, when it was heavily overcast and grey and rainy, that was a bit difficult because it felt depressing. So I'm going to have to find a way around that, because the way that you feel is something that you've got to look after. Okay? That's all for now. Speak to you soon. God bless.